David, what do you think of the idea of using activated charcoal for detox? Your primary detox pathways is your liver, your kidneys, and your lungs. That's your pretty much, and gallbladder, which excretes certain things. It depends, manganese and a number of other ions will be excreted largely by the gallbladder. Some others, like your magnesium, potassium, or sodium, those excess of chloride, calcium, large parts of those can be either not uptaken through the enteric system, they'll just be stopped. They won't take them up because there's too much. The body will regulate that, or they'll be excreted through the kidneys. So the biggest problem that actually people, when they say, I got heavy metal toxicity, is because they've got a bad gallbladder. It's not functioning. So when it comes to copper, excess magnesium, excess manganese, copper, what else? Cadmium, a couple of other ions as well. When you have excess of those, most of those get excreted primarily via the gallbladder. So people that are not getting enough taurine to emulsify, the bile, or enough choline to influence the concentration of cholesterol in those areas, what will happen is you'll get these stone formations and sludge being created because you don't have the nutrients that come in the animal food to regulate these things properly. So that's what's happening. And then if your gallbladder, you're on a vagunarized diet for very long and you actually end up things not working properly, what happens is then you can't excrete them. Humans never had heavy metal toxicity or any of these problems until basically we came to the modern diets of, because if you go back, just think of it logically, just think logically. People back in the 1950s and 60s and all that were exposed to far more metals and far more things in the environment because of the industrial society they were living in. They were working in manufacturing jobs, not in office jobs. How come now office people have got more heavy metal toxicity and more problems compared to people back then? That should tell you something. Those people back then were eating 2/3 animal foods, so they were able to excrete because they had properly functioning gallbladders and kidneys and everything else. Bigger kidneys because they had more protein. Kidneys shrink due to lack of two things. One, control of remodeling, which is taurine. Taurine prevents remodeling. That means things altering, changing. That means the heart changing its shape, the kidneys changing their shape, all that. It actually is protective in that regard, in sort of even the, your cellular turnover and modeling of the actual tissues. Thymus doesn't shrink, so you've got a better immune system into old age, so you don't die from a cytokine storm. Again, because you've got more naive T cells in there. So really, at a fundamental level, you have to regulate your body correctly to be able to protect you properly. All these sort of reductions, let's take this. Look, I've taken an activated charcoal. Yes, it will bind, but it has, if you take excess amounts, it can cause a bit of stomach issues and all that. It can potentially take out other minerals and stuff like that. So you have to take it excluding your main meals, so it has to be outside your main meals and all that, so you can absorb the nutrients. And then stuff that's coming out of the bile, you can actually basically bind it and get rid of it. So it can be useful. I've actually shown you a brand that I used anyway ages ago, but it's not the main thing. I use it for people that have got a lot of excess. They've come out of a vagunarized diet. We're still struggling to fix their gallbladder function. So their natural excretion and detox pathways, their liver's not functioning properly, their gallbladder's not functioning properly. They may have kidney problems. There may be a number of reasons why these people, we need to use some of these interventions to basically improve their detox until other things started kicking in and improving and getting fixed. So that's the way we go in doing these sort of things. So they do have a place, but it's not. We really want to support the body working properly. That's what I'm trying to say. Once you've got the body working properly with the right animal nutrients and all that, then things start working and sorting out themselves. That's why people back 50s, 60s. My father was a Boilermaker welder then, exposed to all sorts of things in that sort of environment as a Boilermaker welder. He never had any problems, until he had a fourth jab. But we'll leave that, Yes, unfortunately, yeah. But that's the sort of the reality. But beyond that, you're saying, Dr. Neil Nathan claims that these binders can be sufficient for some people with mold toxicity to get healthy. I don't know. Maybe. I think good animal nutrition plays a big role. Taurine also can lower mold inside the body, so that's the other thing. But a species-appropriate diet will improve those detox pathways to basically get rid of a lot of this sort of stuff. Also, let's not forget that mold increases certain yeasts type like Candida and other things in the body, and that can be an issue as well for some people. And then again, taurine sort of through inflammasome can regulate and prevent this dysbiosis from happening and suppressing Candida. So there's a lot of these other elements to the story. So it's not, take this and that'll solve all your problems. I think that's very reductionist. Is what I'm trying to say, David.
Yeah, it can be quite dangerous as well, because those binders, they can help, but if you don't take them at specific times, for example, they can bind nutrients.
Precisely.
So, yeah, I heard about like a friend of mine on Discord. He told me about this because he did it many times, but he had a specific protocol where he would do like magnesium sulfate baths a while fasted, and he would take some binders. It was like a detox thing. But he was doing it while fasted. He wouldn't eat it with close to food.
Precisely. Yeah. That's how I see these sort of protocols. And yes, they can have a certain effect, but ultimately you want your body to work properly to be able to detox, because it's capable. If it works properly, it will do all the detoxing that's required. You don't really need to basically do that.